Yo, what's up guys? So today I'm teaching you a trick that I came up with. Well, sorta came up with. Quite a few years ago, Alex Elmsley created a trick called Between Your Palms, and some years later, Ed Marlowe created a variation on this trick called the Money Card. The Between Your Palms premise by Elmsley is one of my favorite plots of all time, but there's just things about it that I didn't like, and so a big part of creating tricks is solving problems, and I think I've solved what I didn't like about it in this routine. So a little history on this routine. The original Elmsley plot was first published in the Pallbearers Review, Volume 8 in 1973. Then in 1994, it was published again in Alex Elmsley's books, The Complete Works of Alex Elmsley. So the Marlowe version, the Money Card, was published in a book called Marlowe Without Tears in 1983. But the granddaddy of them all, the one that nobody talks about, was first published and created by Roy Walton, called Card Case, in the Walton books, The Complete Walton. So I've just sort of combined all of these different ideas and added my own touch on it, my own handling and presentation on it, and I call it Sans Case. And I hope you enjoy it, so let's get right into it. Alright guys, so here's what the trick looks like. So a card is taken out, and let's make it a good card this time. We may or may not need this card anyway, but just in case we do, we'll have it right there, okay? So now the participant can take any card, and let's say we dribble the cards, and they say stop right here, okay? So they look at the card, I won't look. Remember that card is lost somewhere back in the middle of the deck. Right around there is fine. Now it's lost, and what I'm going to try to do is pick out 3 random cards from different parts of the pack, and if I'm lucky, maybe one of these cards can match your card that you're just thinking of in either value, color, or suit. Alright, so let's see. And I'm feeling pretty good about these cards. Let's take a look at what we got. We got a queen, an ace, and a 7. Queen, ace, 7. Let's see here. You know what? I think you're thinking of a red card, am I right? Ooh, you know what? I think I might have to go to this card over here. You know what? This works kind of like a genie in a bottle. If you just rub the card like this, you can make a wish. And I wish that I knew your card. Let's see. Ooh, it's a black card, right? It's a club card. Yes, it's the 7 of clubs. And look at that. It's so magic, in fact, that all the other cards turn into the other 7s. And wouldn't you believe it, that the actual card is the card that you're just thinking of. Alright, so here's how you do Sans Case. Now what you're going to do is get 4 of a kind to the top of the deck. It doesn't matter what it is, I just use the 7s, but you can use anything you want. Now what you're going to do is make it appear as though you shuffle the deck and take any card out. And what I like to do is give it a real overhand shuffle, chop off about half and give it an actual overhand shuffle. And what that does is just centralizes your setup. So now you just take out any random card and you say, look, I'm going to take out a card. It has to be a good card. Maybe this one right here. I feel good about that card right there. And then what you do here is you just cut. This is exposed view. You're just taking out the last card of your setup and putting it right there. And you're taking all these cards, the rest of the setup, and just cutting those to the top like this as you're talking. So I think this card is the right one, or whatever you want to say, right? Now what you do is you just force the top card, which is one of the other 7s, right? So you can do any force that you want to. A standard riffle force works just fine. Say stop anywhere. They look at the card, and you'll want to make sure that you cut the other 2 7s back to the top of the deck after the force. So now they look at the card, and you just control it back to the top. So any card control will work. So they put it right there, and then you can just control it back to the top. So you have all 3 7s on top, their card being topmost. Now what you're going to do is you're going to make it appear as though as you take 3 random cards out, which you do, but the first one is actually one of the 7s, alright? So you say, look, I'm going to take out 3 cards from different parts of the pack, and say hopefully one of the cards matches your card and maybe the value or the suit or the color or something, right? So what you do, you spread through, you take out the 3rd card, which is the 3rd 7 in the setup. So you say like maybe this one right here, and then one towards the middle, and then one towards the end. So it looks, it doesn't look fishy at all. One towards the top, middle, and the bottom. Now what you're going to do is prepare for the Browie addition to switch these cards for the other 2 7s. So what you do is as you strip these out, you just push over 2 cards and then get a break below those as you strip those out. So you get the break below 2 cards, the 2 sevens, and strip those out. Now what's going to happen is you put these face up on top of the deck, and then you lift all 5 cards up as though they are just the 3 cards. So what you're holding is those 3 cards you took out plus the 2 sevens. All right, so what you're going to do is hold these in middle grip and display the cards that you took out. Say, look, we have a 10, and then what you're going to do is just take your thumb and peel that card off and revolve it face down using this pack as a lever, face down on top like this. We have a 10, and repeat that with a 3. We have a 3. Now when you get to the 7, this is supposed to be just 1 card, the last card, right? The 7, but it's really 3 cards. So what you do here is you just put these square on top of the deck, and we have a 7. So just push it off and turn it over like this. So now here you take off all 3 cards, and at this point you've switched in those other random cards for the other 2 sevens. So you're good to go at this point. So you put the deck down, and what you need to do is transfer the middle card, which will be the card that they're thinking of, to the bottom. So look, I think one of these matches your card, but I don't know which one it is. So you just do that casually as you're talking, sort of mixing the cards around like this, right? And don't drop a card. That'll give away the secret. And then as you're shuffling around, just transfer that middle card to the bottom. So look, I think your card might be, maybe, I want to miscall the color of the card that they picked, right? So you're leading them down the garden path, so to speak, right? So what you're going to do, see, I'm not sure. I might have to use this card over here. So you pick it up, and then you sort of rub the cards on top of it like this, and you say, look, this works like a magic genie, and let's see, my wish is that I wish I knew what your card was. Now you're in a great spot because all of the cards are 7s at this point. So what's going to happen is you're essentially going to switch their card for this card, and this is how you switch it. This is exposed view, slow motion. It's really that easy. It's just a exchange of the cards, all right? So at full speed, it looks like you're just rubbing the card like this, and you just toss them face up. But what really happens is you're doing this. You're rubbing the cards. I wish I knew what your card was, blah, blah, blah. And then you just pin your thumb down on that lowermost card, and then just swap them out. Take your fingers, grab a hold of that card like this, and then just in the action of turning these cards over, that's when the switch happens, all right? So again, this is what's happening. So you're doing this, and it's better if you sort of tilt your wrist to shade what's happening, right? So you're like this, and that's what happens. I'm not sure what this move is called. I first saw David Solomon do this in an oil and water routine, and I don't know if it has a name. He just sort of did it, and he didn't call it anything. He just said, switch the card like this, and so that's what I did. And so I'm just using this move as a switch for this trick. So again, I wish I knew what your card was, and the initial shock of them seeing 7. So, oh, it must be a 7, right? Just say something funny about it. And then so you just toss that card face down, and you act like you're done with the trick. You say, wow, now we just got to find your card, and you just snap your fingers, whatever you want to do. And then the card that's been sitting there the whole time, apparently, is their card. Alright guys, so thanks for watching this video, and I really hope that you learned something new, and I hope that you can appreciate the history in Magic and go back and read the old gems like the Marlowe books, the Walton books, the Elmsley books, and try to create routines of your own because it's really a lot of fun, and I think it's therapeutic in a lot of ways as well. But at the end of the day, if you don't like to read and you don't have a big library of books, that's why I'm here, that's why I created the channel, and that's why you're watching this channel, because you like history and you like the books, and I don't know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, happy practicing. Love you guys.